This meeting of the Standing Finance Committee is now resumed. We are now at 23, Port of Spain City Corporation, page 224. Subhead 01, Personal Expenditure, item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Public Health and Disposal. Item 003, Abattoirs, Markets and Dining Shed. Item 004, Transport and Cleansing. Item 005, Squares, Playgrounds and Trees. Item 006, Stores, Works and Repairs. Item 007, Cemeteries and Crematorium. Item 008, Woodbrook Estate. Subhead 02, Goods and Services, item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Public Health and Disposal. Item 003, Abattoirs, Markets and Dining Shed. Item 004, Transport and Cleansing. Item 005, Squares, Playgrounds and Trees. Item 006, Stores, Works and Repairs. Item 007, Cemeteries and Crematorium. Item 008, Woodbrook Estate. Subhead 03, Minor Equipment Purchases. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Public Health. Item 004, Transport and Cleansing. Item 006, Stores, Works and Repairs. Subhead 04, Transport and Cleansing. Subhead 03, Minor Equipment Purchases. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Public Health. Item 004, Transport and Cleansing. Item 006, Stores, Works and Repairs. Subhead 04, Current Transfers and Subsidies. Item 007, Households. Item 009, Other Transfers. 24, San Fernando City Corporation. We are at page 242. Subhead 01, Personal Expenditure. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, City and Departments of Maintenance. Item 003, Institutions. Item 004, Parks, Playgrounds and Cemeteries. Item 005, Transport. Item 006, Local Health Authority. Subhead 02, Goods and Services. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, City and Departments of Maintenance. Item 003, Institutions. Item 004, Parks, Playgrounds and Cemeteries. Item 005, Transport. Item 006, Local Health Authority. Subhead 03, Minor Equipment Purchases. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, City and Department of Maintenance. Item 003, Institutions. Item 004, parks, playgrounds, and cemeteries. Item 005, transport. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 001, households. Item 009, other transfers. 25, Arima Borough Corporation. We are now at page 258. Subhead 01, personnel expenditure, item 001. Item 002, public health. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, parks and recreation grounds. Item 005, works. Subhead 02, goods and services. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, public health. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, parks and recreation grounds. Item 005, works. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases. Item 001, general administration. Item 004, parks and recreation grounds. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, households. Item 009, other transfers. 26.14, Borough Corporation. We are at page 269. Subhead 01, personal expenditure. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, local health authority. Item 003, public places. Item 004, transport and roads. Subhead 02, goods and services. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, local health authority. Item 003, public places. Item 004, transport and roads. Item 005, corporation properties. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases. Item 001, general administration. Item 003, upkeep of public places. Item 004, transport and roads. Item 005, corporation properties. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, households. Item 009, other transfers. 27, Shogunas Borough Corporation. We are now at page 279. Subhead 01, personal expenditure. Item 001, general administration. Member for St. Augustine.
Madam Chair, I have a concern with the decrease in the allocation by 2.1 million for personnel expenditure. Again, this pertains to employees and you have a certain amount set that you would need, and this decrease is less than the amounts utilized in previous years.
So, member, you may have forgotten because we had a little break. What I said is engage in this exercise. You're not dealing with global figures. So you could interrogate the figures, that global figure. It's broken down in details. You can't interrogate the specific details. Okay? So if you're ready to do that, I'll allow you. If not, I'll take somebody else and come back to you.
Okay, you can
okay?
do that, yeah.
Member for Cooper North.
Madam Chair, we on
We're on item 001, General Administration.
Okay. Next item.
Are you ready, member for St. Augustine?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Minister, in many corporations, they end up in arrears with NIS, and it affects workers when it's time for them to get their benefits. This decrease in allocation, can you explain this decrease in allocation for NIS at this corporation?
So you're at 05? Under
Yes.
0100105?
Correct, yes.
Sure.
In 2022, we receive an increase of 3.750, and this is in keeping with the estimates of 2021, 3.730.
Member for St. Augustine, anything else?
That's okay.
Item 002, Cemeteries. Member for Couva North.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, line item 02, wages and COLA. There's a decrease there of approximately $60,000. Can the Honourable Minister identify how much workers will be affected by this decrease?
Will be provided in writing.
Item 003, Markets and Abattoirs. Member for Couva North.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, line item 02, wages and COLAs. There's also a decrease there of $115,000 for this line item. Can the Honourable Minister advise how many workers this decrease is going to have an impact on?
It will be provided in writing.
Can the Honourable Minister advise how many workers are in the system under this line item?
That will also be given in writing.
Member then?
That was my question. I'll be satisfied if the Minister gives it.
Okay. Item 004, Maintenance of Buildings, Grounds and Pastures. Member for St. Augustine.
Again, this item, there's a $35,000 decrease in the allocation for wages and COLA under maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. Same question, Minister.
The estimates of 2021, they were given 6.476, and in 2022, 6.500. So there was nothing. We have adequate funding.
Honourable.
Member for Couva North.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can the Honourable Minister advise how much funding was requested for this line item?
At this time, we wouldn't be able to provide it. We'll provide it in writing for you.
Item 005, Local Health Authority. Member for St. Augustine.
Madam Chair, there is a $500,000 decrease in the allocation to this local health authority, and this department plays a significant role in the upkeep of the environment, drainage, and so on. Can the Minister account for the The decrease in allocation?
The corporation will be contacted and I'll provide that to you in writing.
Okay.
Member for Couva North.
Allowances, daily rated workers, line item 30. There is also a decrease in that line item for $148,500. Can the Minister advise how many workers this decrease is going to impact upon?
I'd like to inform you that we will have to get this information from the corporations, and it will be provided in writing.
Based on the trend that we are seeing, Honourable Minister, is it that we are anticipating that in the upcoming financial year, the plan for this ministry is to reduce staff in the local government body?
I don't see that coming in the near future.
Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Member for Couva North.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, line item 30, allowances, daily rated workers. There's a decrease there of 175,000. Same question, can the Minister advise on this line item how many workers are going to be affected by this decrease?
Same, it will be provided in writing, and I don't see a decrease, as I said, in the near future.
Also, line item 02, wages and COLA. There's a significant decrease in this line item of $1.1 million under maintenance of state traces, local roads. Many of these roads are in a very dilapidated condition. Minister, can you advise what impact this decrease is going to have with respect to the headcount, the number of workers at the Borough Corporation?
You want to know if workers will be cut, you said?
Well, I'm seeing a decrease of 1.1 million. So can you advise what impact this is going to have on the headcount?
Well, I do see, as I said before, I am in the system, and through the corporations, no one has been cut over the years, and I do see it happening in the near future.
Well, Minister,
but you could get it in writing when we contact the corporation.
Minister, you may not have seen it, but I have seen persons who have been working in local government and they have been cut due to lack of...
Permanent and casual workers?
Minister, I have seen persons at local government have been cut. So if it is that you need my assistance in bringing that to your attention, I can surely do that in
the
writing
assistance
in the future
I would
also.
like from you, member, is I am asking if it's permanent and casual workers, which is it is not happening through the 14 corporations.
Subhead 02, Goods and Services. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Cemeteries. Member for Couva North. Item 003, Markets and Abattoirs. Item 004, Maintenance of Buildings, Grounds and Pastures. Item 005, Local Health Authority. Member for St. Augustine.
Madam Chair, the other contracted services, 28, under the Local Health Authority, there is a $5.5 million decrease. This head usually treats with scavenging, where the collection of garbage and so on. Can the Minister say if there are plans to supplement this vote to meet the requirements of the Shogunas region?
They received additional, in the mid-year review, they receive additional funding to clear that amount off.
Member for Barataria.
Thank you very much. Minister, this is a general question on what the member just asked on line item 28. As you know, that there are many new developments, especially in several areas, including Shogunas, which would need additional scavenging contracts. And this cut of $5.5 million, it will affect new additions in terms of extra garbage collection in those new developments?
It's not a cut, member. The revised amount that came forward was to pay the backlog. So it was not cut. And then if you look at the figures on 2021, is how much here? 14,143,500, and in 2022 is 14,900.
Well, if there was a backlog and the average estimate of expenditure was 14.1 allocated in 2021, if that wasn't sufficient and you had to supplement it by about 6 million additional, then that means that that $14 million is not sufficient. And then you come back again in 2022 and you just give back the same 14.9 million.
Okay.
So you clear the backlog.
Backlog
No, but
was
the
cleared.
$14.1 million will contemplate there being a backlog. That is why you needed an additional 6 million. Correct. There's a backlog because it wasn't enough being allocated in 2021. Hence, you had to get an additional 6 million.
Raised before, you know.
All right. But
I was trying to tell you that a lot are raised before.
But the other question is that there will be a lot of new developments. And if you give the same figure of 14.9 million, this would not contemplate additional scavenging or garbage collection in these new developments.
Madam Chairman, could I make a general comment? The members opposite seem to have some sort of political schizophrenia, because members opposite have complained about the fact that we are running a deficit budget, therefore we are spending more than we earn. But in these Standing Finance Committee meetings, they're demanding even greater expenditure. We have to live within our means. So each ministry has been given an appropriate allocation, and each ministry will manage it in the best way possible. You cannot keep demanding additional, and then complaining that we're running a budget deficit. It's illogical.
You see, the minister doesn't understand that these are essential services, that persons need garbage collection as an essential service. So therefore you spend the money there. Don't spend it on building a press conference room in our next ministry or any of those other vanity projects. Spend the money in the essential items.
All right.
And that is the point we're making, Minister. You're budgeting
All right,
without
so
any sense.
Let's, after having those general discussions, let's get back to the matter at hand. Member for Couva North.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, to the Honourable Minister, line 28, other contracted service. Minister, can you advise this?
Couva South, I've told you about that beautiful voice you have for a chamber. You really draw out everybody, even without the mic. Would you give your member for Couva North an opportunity, please? Thank you. Member for Couva North.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister, this other contracted service, it seems to be the same figure, repeating itself from 2020 actual, what is estimated in 2021, and approximately what is being proposed for 2022. Can you advise this contract, what is the duration of these contracts?
Provided in writing also.
Minister, is the information coming to me is that this contract has been in establishment from 2013, and this other contracted services is being provided for at the 2013 rate. Can you confirm if that information is correct?
I don't know if you heard me, I just told you I will provide it for you in writing.
And can you advise when it is that this other contracted services, specifically the scavenging contractor, can you advise that when that contract is going to be relooked at, because of the fact that there are several new development in various regions across the country, that this contract is having a significant impact on where these areas are not being properly serviced?
You mean within the region of the Shogunas Borough Corporation,
Specifically
right?
within the region of the Shogunas Borough.
Sure.
Can I make a general comment on the allocation for scavenging under other contracted services? In 2013, the former UNC government doubled the cost of scavenging irrationally. We have
Chair,
to get the
back
cost.
to
Madam
2013.
Speaker, there he goes again. Madam Chairman, may I complete my statement?
Madam Chair, this is
If they're saying
schizophrenia.
I can't talk now, Madam Chairman.
So, Minister of Finance, Minister of Finance, Minister of Finance, if you could give us some more recent information.
I'm going to. The 2013, I know the example was used as a reference. We are, the member on the other side, Madam Chairman, said that the rate is a 2013 rate and he would hope that it would be increased. I just wanted to make the point that the rate that we are expecting in 2022 is the correct rate,
The minister
which is
is
far
misleading.
less than the 2013
The minister is
rate,
misleading.
which
I
they
didn't talk about the
artificially
increase in
import.
the
Madam
rate. I'm
Speaker,
talking about the
why can't I be
contract.
allowed to finish?
That is preposterous.
No, you all are being ridiculous. I'd like to make a statement. Explain why we have made this allocation in this line item in 2022, Madam Speaker. I'd like to explain. The reason we have made the allocation in this way is that we believe that the rate that is being used at present is inflated, and it's historically inflated by members opposite.
Madam Chair, that is a ridiculous statement and a false accusation. And the minister ought not to be allowed to make such a comment. Madam Chair, if I may, on this item, for clarification, I sat as a councillor for 10 years and the chairman of a corporation for 3 years. Madam Chair, scavenging and collecting of garbage is an essential service in every single community in this country. There are many areas over the years that have developed, and with increased need for scavenging service, the corporations have not been getting increased allocations. What we see is that this government is in fact cutting the allocations to collect garbage as though it is a service that is optional. It is not. And we have garbage piling up in communities and regional corporations fighting to meet the need. So for the minister to make such a statement, it shows that he's very, very disconnected from reality of the situation. Very. And
So,
every single corporation has this challenge.
all
I
right,
trust
so
that
we're
the
not
minister...
dealing with every single corporation. We're dealing with Shogunas. The point has been made, and therefore, I believe the minister says he's going to provide the information on the contracts. Right? Let's proceed. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, I can barely hear myself. Item 007, households. 28, Diego Martin Regional Corporation. We're going on to page 286. Subhead 01, personal expenditure. Item 001, general administration. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 02, goods and services. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Cemeteries. Item 004, Maintenance of Buildings, Grounds and Pastures. Item 005, Local Health Authority. Item 006, Maintenance of State Traces, Local Roads, etc. Subhead 03, Minor Equipment Purchases. Item 001, General Administration. Subhead 04, Current Transfers and Subsidies. Item 007, Households. We go on to 29, Sawa Laventille Regional Corporation. We are now at page 292. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Cemeteries. Item 003, Markets and Abattoirs. Item 004, Maintenance of Buildings, Grounds and Pastures. Member for Shogunas West.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, just one comment. I want to commend the increases in all of these figures. It just seems as though the Minister of Finance, they forgot to do the increases in the Shogunas Corporation.
005, Local Health Authority. Item 006, Maintenance of State Traces, Local Roads, etc. Subhead 02, Goods and Services. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Cemeteries. Item 003, Markets and Abattoirs. Member for Barataria Sano.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I'm on line item 12, which deals with materials and supplies. Madam Chair, I'm seeing that of the allocated $80,000 for 2021, only $11,000 was spent. And I ask this question in the context of several complaints I have received from the vendors at the market, the Sawa market, where the fans are not working, they have problems with sanitation. The vendors had to buy their own temperature guns for persons to get into the market. They buy their own sanitizers, and you know how important it is to have these materials on hand to stop the spread of the COVID-19 virus. And yet, of the allocated $80,000, only $11,000 was spent. Minister, can you give an explanation for why this occurred?
Well, they receive an additional amount this year. So I am sure, I am almost sure that these problems will be fixed with the additional funding received.
Okay, because you see the problem here is that the same allocation was given to them in 2021 and it wasn't spent. And then the 80,000 given in 2022. And I've been told that some of the market vendors are experiencing victimization of the market simply because they had sued the regional corporation relating to the market fees issue. And I really hope it's not an issue of victimization. So as a minister, if you can use your good office to look into that, to ensure that these market vendors are comfortable at the market at Sawa, because we wouldn't want something like that taking place there. And these are just the concerns that I have received from some of the vendors at the market. Thank you very much.
Item 004, Maintenance of Buildings, Grounds and Pastures. Item 005, Local Health Authority. Item 006, Maintenance of State Traces, Local Roads, etc. Subhead 03, Minor Equipment Purchases. Item 001, General Administration. Item 003, Markets and Abattoirs. Item 004, Maintenance of Buildings, Grounds and Pastures. Item 005, Local Health Authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, households. Item 009, other transfers. 30, Tena Puna PRCO Regional Corporation. We're going on to page 300. Subhead 01, personal expenditure. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Member for St. Augustine.
Yes, Madam Chair. The allocation for wages and COLA at Tena Puna Corporation, where St. Augustine constituency resides, is significantly reduced. At this time, I don't know if the Minister is aware, workers who are usually 10-day workers are now working 8 days to stretch the allocation you had in the last financial year to meet payments. This reduction, with this further reduction, can we expect more workers' days to be reduced even further, or do we, as a region, have to prepare for workers losing their jobs at the regional corporation? Over 300 workers are currently working 8 days instead of 10 days per fortnight at this time.
Look at the estimates. Once again, in 2021 is 48,774, and in 2022 is 48,724, a decrease of 276.
Well, Mr. Minister, that was not sufficient. It was not sufficient to the extent that over 300 workers were reduced from 10 days to 8 days. So there is a need for an increase. The fact that they spent this is because they cut the number of days workers have been working. So I just want to ask the Minister if representation will be made for supplemental funding to ensure that these workers work the full number of days that are required in this region, and to prevent them from losing their jobs.
I will investigate it and take the necessary action.
Subhead 02, goods and services. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases. Item 001, general administration. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, households. Item 009, other transfers. 31, Sandy Grande, Regional Corporation. We now go on to page 307. Subhead 01, personal expenditure. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 02, Goods and Services. Item 001, General Administration. Item 003, Markets and Abattoirs. Item 004, Maintenance of Buildings, Grounds and Pastures. Item 005, Local Health Authority. Item 006, Maintenance of State Traces, Local Roads, etc. Subhead 03, Minor Equipment Purchases. Item 001, General Administration. Subhead 04, Current Transfers and Subsidies. Item 007, Households. Item 009, Other Transfers. We now go on to 32, Cuba, Tabakit, Talparo Regional Corporation. We are at page 314. Subhead 01, Personal Expenditure. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Cemeteries. Item 003, Markets and Abattoirs. Item 004, Maintenance of Buildings, Grounds and Pastures. Member for Cuba North.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, line item 02, Wages and COLA. There is a decrease of $170,000 in this line item. Minister, can you advise how many workers this $170,000 decrease is going to have an impact on?
I will get the information and provide it in writing.
Thank you.
Item 005, Local Health Authority. Member for Cuba South.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Minister, with respect to line item 28, other contracted services, a decrease of $1.9 million. Could you inform this meeting what contracted services may be impacted as a result of this cut?
We at 005, Local Health Authority. I think you're going on to Goods and Services, huh? All right? So, item 006, but I want to say Cuba South, I want to congratulate you for trying to advance us.
Yes, you know I always assist you. You know I always assist you, Madam.
Indeed. Item 006, Maintenance of State Traces, Local Roads. Subhead 02, Goods and Services. Item 001, are you here? General Administration, is it here you are? No? Okay. Item 002, Cemeteries. Item 003, Markets and Abattoirs. Item 004, Maintenance of Buildings, Grounds and Pastures. Item 005, Local Health Authority. Member for Cuba South.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. With respect to 28, Minister, other contracted services and the decrease in allocation of $1.9 million, as I said, what contracted services may be impacted as a result of this decrease?
We have no arrears, but due to the COVID scavenging, they will request additional funding in the mid-year.
I would ask you to pay particular attention to that because there are a number of areas now where lots have been developed for former Caroni workers and has not been brought under the control of the corporation. And people are complaining about a lack of a reliable garbage collection.
Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Member for Cuba South.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Minister, with respect to 12 materials and supplies. Now, I see that you have allocated or is expected to get an allocation of $1.4 million in 2022, and you spent $400,000 in 2021. Now, in terms of the Cuba-Tabaqui-Talparo Regional Corporation, as a landmass large as Barbados, it has 14 electoral districts. And I hope that that $1.4 million will actually be released by the Ministry of Finance to improve the dilapidated condition of roads in or under the control of the Cuba-Tabaqui-Talparo Regional Corporation. Because at the end of the day, if you divide $1.4 million by 14 electoral districts, it is approximately $100,000 per electoral district. And certainly, Minister of Finance, that cannot and will not improve the condition of local government roads in the Cuba-Tabaqui-Talparo Regional Corporation. I want you to take serious note of that, because there may be some implications down the road if the conditions of the roads do not improve. I am a very law-abiding.
Member for Cuba North.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I would like to refer the Minister's attention also to line 12, material and supplies. Now, Minister, I am seeing here for the 2021 estimate, it was only estimated at $400,000, despite the actual spend for 2020 was 1.4. So what we experienced over the last financial year is a significant reduction in funding for this issue. And I was wondering why it is that the Cuba-Tabaqui-Talparo Regional Corporation have some of the worst roads that we can experience in this country. And I'm now starting to see that you have basically under-budgeted for the financial year 2021. As we move into financial 2022, with the amount of water leaks and the failure of WASA to return the road to a usable condition, is this taking into consideration in your estimate for 2022 in going forward? And can you advise also if this is what was requested by the corporation, or is it that the corporation requested more and you cut it down to 1.4?
Well, I know there's an increase, but we'll have to provide the answer you're looking for.
Thank you, Minister.
Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, households. 33, Miaro, Rio Claro Regional Corporation, we're at page 323. Subhead 01, personal expenditure, item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Head 02, goods and services. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, Local Health Authority.
Yes.
Member for St. Augustine.
Item 28, other contracted services under Local Health Authority. Mr. Minister, I noticed that there is a trend to reduce the allocation based on the spending in the last fiscal year. But Mayaro Corporation, like others, have been forced to reduce the scavenging days, and thus the expenditure would have been less when there is in fact a need for more funding. So I just want to ask that this decreased allocation, that you consider revising it to meet the needs of the corporation, and that applies in the Mayaro region, where there are areas that previously were never provided scavenging service by the regional corporation, and it does put an additional burden on the existing service.
This will be considered.
Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, households. We now go on to 34, Superior Regional Corporation. We at page 330. Subhead 01, personal expenditure. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 02, goods and services. Item 001, general administration. Member for Oropouche West.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I refer to sub-item 22, short-term employment. I note that there has been a reduction of $2.8 million under this head, this allocation for short-term employment. Can the Minister advise why that has happened at this point in time?
Short-term was more under the local health authority.
Minister, in 2020, you had an actual of $3.6 million. Sorry.
The additional funding was under that head, local health authority, LAG.
So you have a $2.8 million under that head? You have an increase of $2.8 million under that head to cater for the short-term employment? I'm not seeing that, Minister.
The corporation,
just for clarification, Minister, in 2020 you had an actual spend of $3.6 million. In 2021, a revise of $3.5 million. But in 2022, you're only estimating $682,000, which means under this head, you are short by $2.8 million for 2022. I'm seeing no other head in which there's a similar increase to match this decrease.
London, we will go back at the mid-year, in this case here, to have the necessary funding available.
Minister, I appreciate your commitment to so do, but that means that we are estimating substantially below what we know will be the cost. On average, you spend $3.5 million, but you're only budgeting $682,000. Now, this is the signal you're sending to the corporation, is that they must cut short-term employment by $2.8 million. Minister, if I may, I would take you to your word that you will go back to the in the media review to factor in this 2.8 million. I just want to make the point, though, that it means you have deliberately underestimated your intended expenditure under this head, under this regional corporation. And I am extremely concerned that individuals are not going to be employed in facilities and in jobs that they had previously and that they were working previously. And somehow this is going to negatively impact the ability of the regional corporation to service its burgesses properly.
Okay, so item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Member for Oropuch West.
Raise the same issue again, Minister. Under this heading where you said that we had catered for, there's a decrease again of $2.329 million. So what we have is two sets of decreases now.
28, just identify.
My apologies,
Yes.
My apologies, Chair. We are actually under sub-item 28, other contracted services, and I'm highlighting again that again here we have a $2.3 million reduction in the allocation for this regional corporation. So this is the second such installment. The first one was 2.8, and this one is 2.3, which signals that there is going to be a reduction in the number of persons employed, and definitely this will affect the ability of the regional corporation to service its burgesses properly. I think the Siparia Regional Corporation deserves a little bit better, Mr. Minister. Can you indicate why this decrease has occurred?
Corporation got 3.69300, and in 2022 they got 11,400.
Minister, in 2021 you had $13.73 million under this head. In 2022 you are budgeting 11.4, which is a shortfall of $2.3 million. I'm asking what is the reason for that shortfall, and if you are going to come to the mid-year review, then I'm even more concerned that we have under-budgeted.
Madam Chair, if I may add while the Minister prepares to respond, that Siparia region is proposed to be renamed a borough, and the services within that region and the town centre leaves a lot wanting, and it would have to be treated with under this vote. So perhaps the Minister could include in his response how he would deal with that upgrade in terms of the services being offered under this vote to Siparia.
I will provide the necessary answer for you and the information. Just let me hear them.
Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases. Item 001, general administration. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, household. We move on to 35, Penal Debate Regional Corporation. We go to page 3, 38, subhead 01, personal expenditure. Item 001, general administration. Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds, and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 02, goods and services. Item 001, general administration. Member for St. Augustine.
Yes, Madam Chair. It is my understanding that the Minister or the Ministry has given a directive to regional corporations to turn off their lights and take off their AC as much as possible. And I'm seeing a trend with decreased allocation for electricity. Can the Minister indicate if that is the justification for the reduction in the allocation towards paying electricity at the regional corporation?
0201, 00104.
Correct. Under electricity, under general administration, goods and services. Correct.
Respect of Penal Debe Regional Corporation.
That's correct.
Thank you.
We also sent out a memo to each corporation, as you rightfully said, to turn off lights and air condition, because most of the times these corporations leave all the lights and the air condition on. Most time you go around and you see it, and we took the undertaking that in order to conserve electricity and save some money, to have this take place, cut down the air condition and the lights and so on, because it happens all over the corporation. I do it at home.
Oropouche West.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to go to line item 93 before I come back to any of the others. Operations of electoral district offices for councillors of municipal corporations. Minister, before I ask my question, can I just ask a preamble question? Is this the line item under which the offices of the councillors will be paid for?
Yes.
Minister, I have raised this issue previously before with you, so I know that you're familiar with it, but in particular in the Penal Debe Regional Corporation, we have had a multiplicity of examples over the last year that I'm familiar with, where councillors have not been able to get funding to pay for their offices. And this has run for months on end. Is it that the allowance, the allocation here is inadequate, or is it that the disbursements are late? Because if it is inadequate, we will continue to have this problem occurring, where councillors have to beg their landlords not to lock them out.
We will continue to make the requests to get the funding.
Madam, if I may, on this vote, Minister, whether the vote is adequate or not for the entire financial year, councillors have received eviction notices because the releases were not being made on time. And this is a predictable cost to the corporation, and it is a standard thing to allow a councillor to have an office. And to deprive the councillors, landlords of payment is just $2,500 per councillor. It deprives the burgesses of representation. And I want to urge you to ensure that these releases are made in time, so not to deprive citizens of access to their elected councillors.
For Oropouche West.
Madam Chair, along the same lines, Mr. Minister, line item 68, water trucking. I'm aware that water trucking is a major supplier of water in my constituency of Oropouche West and in Oropouche East, both of which straddle Penal Debe Regional Corporation. I am also aware that the allocation is inadequate, even with the $60,000 increase. I want to use this opportunity to appeal to the Minister to increase this allowance significantly more than it is here now, because what exists now is simply inadequate to the needs of the constituencies of Oropouche East and West under Penal Debe Regional Corporation.
Was an increase, as you know?
$60,000 increase, sir, it's definitely not
Yeah,
sufficient.
well, but still was an increase. And if more is requested, we will go to the media review and we will ask for the money. We always do that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am on line item 46, natural disasters. Honorable Minister, in 2021, we had an estimate of $1,275,000, but we had no allocation. I am aware, since this regional corporation straddles a significant part of my constituency, that we have had flooding. I don't know if there's another kind of if flooding is not a natural disaster for the minister, but I know that we have had significant amount of flooding in my constituency. It's very disappointing to see no allocation under natural disasters to cater for that issue and that problem, especially since we are now budgeting in 2022 $1.15 million. We didn't get the $1.275 million in 2021. I have no expectation that we will get the $1.2 million promised now in 2022. Question, can the minister advise why is it that there was no allocation for 2021? None. Under the head natural disasters?
I would say it now and I would say it again. We at the ministry continue to make the request.
Minister, are you suggesting that you made the request to the Minister of Finance for this $1.275 million and none was provided to you?
We continue to make the request on behalf of the corporations.
Thank you, Minister. So does that mean that I can hold no guarantee that constituents of Oropouche East and West will benefit from any kind of support when there's a natural disaster, as flooding is? This certainly is one of the constituencies, Minister, where you should be much more aggressive in securing support, especially because these areas flood so badly. If I may continue, Minister. Line item 22, short-term employment. Again, I see a $450,000 decrease from the allocation that was provided for in 2021. Can the Minister advise why we have reduced expenditure under this line item for short-term employment? Is it that we will have less people employed?
Once again, as I said, the requests, we continue to make the requests, and I will find out what has caused this, and I will inform you in writing.
Thank you, Minister. One more, line item 15. A real bugbear for me, Minister. Line item 15, repairs and maintenance of equipment. We had the paltry sum of $50,000 allocated in 2021, of which $4,000, Minister, $4,600 was a revised expenditure. The result of that, Minister, was that in 2021, this corporation did not have sufficient money to repair a substantial amount of equipment that it had at its disposal to do the work of the corporation. And as a result of that, repairs not being done, we have a significant amount of equipment sitting idle while we have flooding taking place throughout the constituency of Oropouche East and West. To make matters worse, you are now proposing a $40,000 estimate for 2022. Minister, we have substantial amount of equipment sitting idle, unable to be used because repairs are required. Because you underfunded substantially in 2021, both in the estimate and in the revised estimate, and now you're coming to promise them an even less amount. What is expected to happen then is even more equipment, the few that they have in operation, will not be able to function. You are sabotaging the operation of the regional corporation, Minister, by not providing them with the money to do their own repairs. The result of that, Minister, is that drains are not being cleared. We have flooding because of these kinds of activities, Minister.
Question is whether it is the Minister of Local Government or the Minister of Finance that is strangling these corporations of basic funding for services that are essential. Who is truly responsible for what is being perpetrated on citizens?
This is unacceptable, Minister.
So, member, can we go on to another line item? And I just want to remind members, Baratara Salmon, can I speak now? I just want to remind members it is now 20 to 7. The curfew begins at 10. I would really like that our staff could be relieved no later than 8:45 so that they can get home. All right? We had a certain sort of occurrence in the last Standing Finance Committee, which I hope we will avoid this time. So if we could use our time wisely, and members are reminded, they can still send in their questions in writing. Okay? Yeah.
Are we ending the meeting at 8? Is it 8:45?
I don't want to, the staff, unless you can carry on.
So wherever.
Without the staff.
So just to be clear, so wherever we reach in whatever head, we end the meeting.
We have to finish the heads. We have to finish the 8 heads tonight. I don't know if members are familiar with the standing orders. We have to finish the 8 heads tonight. Okay? Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases. Item 001, general administration. 36, Princestown Regional Corporation. We're at page 346. Subhead 01, personal expenditure. Item 001, general administration. Member from Aruga, Tableland.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, if the Minister could explain with regards to item 13, remuneration to council members. I see there's a decrease of 16,000. The members of council remain the same.
The estimates in 2021, which was 1,559, is the same as 2022.
So I would look at the revised estimate where 1,575 was spent.
You got more.
So it's just something for the Minister to take into consideration, is the remuneration of the hard-working first responders.
Okay.
Item 002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 02, goods and services. Item 001, general administration. Member from Aruga, Tableland.
Just something for the Minister to be taken into consideration also, the telephone 05. Minister, I know even as of August month, Princestown Regional Corporation was unable to pay their phone bills because the councillors had no access to their phones. And now I'm seeing a reduction in that allocation.
Okay, at the end, I just want to inform you, at the end of the financial year, they received funding and all the arrears were cleared. At the end of the financial year, they received funding and all the arrears were paid. The phone had to cut to be paid back. They paid back, so the phone was reinstated.
All right,
Mr. Minister, your late releases causing embarrassment to our councillors. The phone had to cut before the ministry could make releases to pay a phone bill that come in every month. This is not an unexpected expense.
I made the request and the money was received then.
Item 002, cemeteries. Member from Aruga Tableland.
Madam Chair, if you'll permit me, I just wanted the minister to explain under goods and services, there was a reduction in the short-term employment of $131,000. So if the minister could explain with regards to that, please.
Administration.
Yes, if you'll permit me.
Same thing.
Yeah, but what does it say? Decrease.
Yeah, what is
2021 estimates and the 2022 estimates is the same figure.
Also, permit me, I'll move on to item 46 with regards to natural disasters. I see that we had no releases in the revised estimate for 2021. So if the minister could give us an explanation as to why the corporation is being starved of this funding.
We at the head office continue to make the requests to get the necessary funding.
I hear you on that, Minister, but if you will understand the circumstances that these corporations are faced with on a yearly basis, in the sense that natural disasters, as my colleagues would have rightfully said, it's a flood-prone area. The unit is already understaffed with just 3 personnel. The councillors are out there with only a cell phone that is not paid. So they need the services, they need the releases in order to do their job. Also, if you would allow me with regards to the water trucking, as everyone is aware that the area has water issues, and I would just like to plead for an increase if possible.
Okay.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you.
002, cemeteries. Item 003, markets and abattoirs. Item 004, maintenance of buildings, grounds and pastures. Item 005, local health authority. Item 006, item 005, local health authority.
Yes. Minister, with regards to, and my colleagues would have raised this, with other contracted services, we have a reduction of 1.2. And if you could give an explanation as to why.
I don't know what you
Tell them
Minister, if it can be provided at this point in time, I will take the response in writing.
All right, thank you. It will be provided. But most of the arrears were paid, eh? Most of the arrears were paid. That was during the COVID period.
Item 006, maintenance of state traces, local roads, etc. Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases. Item 001, general administration. Item 005, local health authority. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, households. Item 009, other transfers. 37, regional corporation services, general. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. You're at page 354. Item 007, households. 38, Trinidad and Tobago Association of Local Government Authorities. We're at page 358. Subhead 01, personal expenditure, item 001. Subhead 02, Goods and Services, item 001, General Administration. Honorable members, we will now move on to the draft estimates of the development program. And we're at page 94. Subhead 09, Development Program, Consolidated Fund, item 003, Economic Infrastructure. Member for Tabaki.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am at line item 009, Bailey Bridges, and I want to ask the Minister, firstly, if this line item takes into consideration the wooden bridges replacement program announced by the Ministry, and therefore if this is for emergency repairs or if this line item envisions the replacement of wooden bridges before a disaster takes place. That's line item 009.
Yes.
So it's before, and so therefore, I note that the revised estimate in 2021 was 1.7 million, and then we are estimating for 2022 1.5 million. So I know there is a case where we apply for additional funding in the mid-year review, but I can tell you, based on the applications that you would be getting from the Tabakit constituency in terms of the replacement of wooden bridges, we will definitely be looking at this allocation. So I just wanted to make the Minister aware of that. Thank you.
Member for Point of Pear.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister, line item 010, restoration of landslips. Could you tell us the 3.5 million if that allocation includes North Soledad, Claxon Bay landslip that is outstanding for the last 2 years?
I will inform you accordingly, Honourable Member.
Thank you, Minister.
Member for Caroni East.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister, with regards to 003, restoration of local bridges, I'm asking for some help with the restoration of the bridge at Lalu Trace right off of Chinchin Road in Cunupia. It is in a great state of disrepair and it is impossible to both put pedestrian as well as motorists. And if that cannot be done in the short term, if using 001 restoration of local roads, if some assistance could be had with the rehabilitation of David Toby Road, which is the access road for the farmers that use that area, please.
Pardon me?
Member for Maruga Tabelahan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I would just like to ask the Minister with regards to item 03 and item 09, if those items include with regards to the restoration of the bridge in Edward Trace, and also I know a Bailey Bridge was recommended by your technical staff that visit Glod Road and also Warwell First Branch. Honorable Minister, I know you would not be influenced by your colleagues and you will do the honorable thing and you would bring relief to my constituents. I have faith in you, Honorable Minister. There are no bridges. Honorable Minister,
Madam
and you
Chairman,
know...
may I make a general comment on this line item?
No, I want to make a comment.
So I believe the Minister of Finance would like to let you know, Maruga Tabelahan, that certainly there will be no negative influence. Minister of Finance.
Madam Chairman, I just wanted to let the member know that we will be supplementing the budget of the Ministry of Local Government under this line item for the disposal of burnt tires.
Member for Cuba North.
This is after you're collecting tax for tires.
Member
You're
for Cuba
collecting
North.
tax for tires.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I'd like to draw the Minister's attention to line item 03, restoration of local bridges. I see we had a 2 million in 2021 estimate, but only 750,000 was utilized. Now we have a projected estimate for 2022 of 3.5 million. Minister, I would like to believe that the bridge that is close to collapsing in Rupsing Road and the bridge in Korea Village both needs to be repaired. Hoping that you would use your good office to have these bridges refurbished before any sort of accident can occur. Can you give us a commitment if it is that these refurbishment works will fall under line item 003?
I can't give you a commitment, but I can give you a consideration.
Thank you very much, Minister. Also, I'd like you to give consideration to the Ragunanan Road West, that bridge there, which would have been brought to your attention by Councillor Dubraj Prasad on multiple occasions. If you could consider the construction of that bridge, or at least the installation of a Bailey Bridge, so that the residents of Ragunanan Road West and St. John's Road who experience significant flooding in St. John's Road when it is, whenever it rains, very limited rain, and that area floods out, and these persons have no way of exiting their homes or even reaching to their homes under the current conditions. So if you could kindly consider that bridge also.
Minister, with regards to line item 010, restoration of landslips, I'll just like to bring it to your attention that we have a couple of very, very severe landslips on Fletcher's Road in Caroni East, and if we could get some attention with that, these areas are totally impassable to the garbage trucks, and the residents are in serious need of assistance in these areas.
Tableland.
Minister, I would just like you to give consideration when it comes to the restoration of landslips to Glod Road, Puran Road, Matulia, Loni Road, Kumuto South, Kunjal, Urpuch South Trace. Also, I would like you to give consideration to the Fifth Company area.
Multi-sectoral and other services. Honorable members, item 005 spans 10 pages. Therefore, I will announce the project groups. A, administrative services. Member for Cuba North.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Line item 045, implementation of local government reform. Minister, this was estimated at 2 million in 2021. However, no funds was utilized, as reflected here in the revised estimates of 2021. Can you advise why it is no funds was utilized for this line item?
This item will go hand in hand with the legislation. And once the legislation is approved, which it will be, as I said, it will go hand in hand.
Minister, since 2016, the administration has been talking about that legislation. Can you advise when it is you anticipate that to be completed? Because I'm seeing an additional $1 million is being proposed for 2022. Are we expected to utilize that in this upcoming financial year? Do we expect the legislation to be completed and ready? And in addition to that, will that 1 million be sufficient?
It might be sufficient, but I said, once it's not sufficient, we'll go back and ask for more funding.
Member for Moruga Tableland.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, can the Minister, with regards to the new line item 2027, give us a breakdown as to what that item will entail?
So, member, I take it you will accept this in writing.
Yes, Chair.
F, public buildings. A, Forest City Corporation. B, Arima Borough Corporation. C, San Fernando City Corporation. D, Point Forte Borough Corporation. L, Shogunas Borough Corporation. M, Diego Martin Regional Corporation. N, San Juan Labantil Regional Corporation. P, Tena Puna Piarco Regional Corporation. R, Sandy Grande Regional Corporation. T, Cuba Tabakit Talpal Regional Corporation. Member for Cuba North.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I'd like to refer the Minister's attention to line item 265, Local Roads and Bridges Program. Minister, this line item actual spend for 2020 was 5.1 million, but in 2021 we see a cut down to 3.5 million. Again, with the current conditions of the dilapidated roads that we have throughout the region, do you think that the funding that is estimated for 2022 will be sufficient to complete the task at hand?
If funding is required, we'll go back, as I said, on immediate review.
Chairman, on a general point, I'd like to repeat, we are running a deficit budget. We have to be very careful about expenditure. Money doesn't grow on trees, as the member obviously thinks.
U, Miaro Rio Claro Regional Corporation. V, Separia Regional Corporation. W, Pinal Debe Regional Corporation. X, Princestown Regional Corporation. Infrastructure Development Fund. Members, we are at page 27. Sorry, member from Moruga Tableland.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I would just like to bring the Minister's attention with regards to 339 local roads and bridges. I know that nearly the entire, the allocation, and we saw an increase of 200,000, but I'll ask the Minister if any increase could be given to this particular line item, in the sense that the area has a lot of deplorable roads and we really need your assistance, Minister. Even if you could consider the project with regards to the Rural Development Company, there are a lot of letters that was sent from the corporation, a lot of estimates of what was done with regards to bridges and the restoration of roadway, and we are seeking your assistance.
Okay.
Page 217. Item 004, Social Infrastructure, member for Tabakit.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am at line item 003, Development of Rural Communities. So I know that this is a new line item. There was nothing in 2021, but we're estimating $20 million for the development of rural communities. Now, throughout our discussions here today, it is clear that there's a lot of work needed in terms of roads, drains, bridges, etc. But I am asking that we can get this in writing, but in terms of the development of rural communities, I am asking that we look at more aspirational things, the development of entrepreneurial communities, small businesses, craftsmen and women within rural communities, to make this development meaningful for the communities and not simply to access basic needs. So I'll accept from the Minister in writing the proposals for the $20 million that will be spent in rural communities. And I hope that we are getting a clear definition of what a rural community is, and this money is not going to be spent all over the place. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Item 005, Multi-sectoral and Other Services. Honorable members, the question is that the sum of $2,332,469,000 per head, 42, Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you very much, PS. Thank you very much, all the other technocrats from the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government. Reach home safely. Honorable members, we have 7 more heads to do, and we have roughly an hour and 45 minutes. I remind members that they can't put their questions in writing. I have communicated with the whip the time by which those questions will be received. I'm certain the whip, in doing his duty, would have conveyed that information to you all. Of caution, just to ensure that the sum of $2,332,469,000 for Head 42, Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, now stands part of the schedule. Ministry of Trade and Industry. Head 48, Ministry of Trade and Industry, $211,653,880. I will now invite the Minister of Trade and Industry to make a brief opening statement. Minister, I would have normally said for a maximum of 5 minutes, but I would really like to persuade you to do it in a shorter time period. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. That being the case, let me say that the Ministry of Trade and Industry has its core responsibility, which is leading and overseeing the implementation of government policy for trade, business, and development, investment, and consumer empowerment. We're very focused on particular areas, deepening and expanding Trinidad and Tobago's trading relationship by improving market access for trading partners, building the competitiveness of the private sector, enabling and creating an enabling environment for economic diversification, including the growth and expansion of particular sectors, manufacturing, services, etc., creating jobs by facilitating increased local and foreign direct investment. I can stop there, Madam Speaker, and of course improving the ease of doing business.
Thank you very much, Minister. Honourable members, the question is that the sum of $211,653,880 for Head 48, Ministry of Trade and Industry, stand part of the schedule. Honourable members, the sum of $211,653,880 for Head 48, Ministry of Trade and Industry, is comprised of monies proposed for expenditure under the following subheads and items to be found in the draft estimates of recurrent expenditure, the draft estimates of revenue and expenditure of the statutory boards and similar bodies and of the Tobago House of Assembly, and the draft estimates of development program. We shall now proceed to consider the draft estimates of recurrent expenditure. We're starting at page 275. Subhead 01, Personal Expenditure, item 001, General Administration. Item 003, Consumer Affairs Division. Item 004, Research and Planning. Item 005, Consumer Outreach and Protection Unit. Subhead 02, Goods and Services. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Weights and Measures Inspectorate. Item 003, Consumer Affairs Division. Item 004, Research and Planning. Item 005, Consumer Outreach and Protection Unit. Subhead 03, Minor Equipment Purchases. Item 001, General Administration, Member for Point of Appeal.
Thank you, Minister. 04, other minor equipment. 2021, you spent $3,000. This year, you are allocated 1.1 million. Could you, if you could care to put it in writing, what those pieces of equipment would be?
I certainly can tell you now. Given
Sure.
COVID, we now have the experience of doing all of our international meetings virtually, which will certainly save the government a lot of money and the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So we are investing in an entire video conference system to be used to participate in all of our meetings with external agencies and including all our quoted regional meetings, which we do twice a month. So they will include the purchase of 4 non-function uninterrupted power supply UPS units, the purchase of 7 network switches to replace those that are no longer supported by the manufacturer, the purchase of other wireless equipment, KVA, UPS, Cisco, port core, switch, telephone router, hard drives, etc. But the entire is to be able to the mission is to be able to do all of our meetings virtually to the extent possible.
Thank you, Minister.
Item 003, Consumer Affairs Division. Subhead 04, Current Transfers and Subsidies. Item 003, United Nations Organizations, Member for Point of Peer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister, 01, United Nations Organization. 2021, you allocated $620,000. The spent is $300. Is this for fees? Why no payment was made in 2021?
Yeah, these are annual fees, and we will have to. We certainly will have to make up for it. So we are going to. This is the 20. This will be used to pay the 2021 contribution, and we'll be running a little late on the contributions.
Literally 2 years, 2021 and 2020.
We'll catch up with it.
Thank you. Were there any adverse effects for the country by not paying these dues?
Absolutely not.
Thank you.
Item 007, Households. Item 008, Subsidies. Item 009, Other Transfers. Member for Point of Peer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister, line item 30, Overseas Market Promotions. I know you had identified that in your budget statement of 2020-2021. 2021 spent was $200,000. 2022, you're now allocated $37 million. You can submit it in writing the locations or the countries that you will be setting up or visiting these overseas market promotions.
Yes, this is a very important budgetary item and program that we've embarked on to expand our exports, particularly our non-energy exports. And in terms of the locations that we are putting in the offices, certainly we're thinking of Jamaica, and which will service Jamaica and Dominican Republic. Then, of course, we're thinking also of Guyana to do Suriname. Of course, the mission in London is also important, and we will include the European Union market as well to service that area. And of course, we will look at China. And to save costs, what we are planning on doing is to have these commercial offices within the embassy itself, so you don't have double physical costs and so on. But it's more than just the commercial offices, it's more than just that. And I would have spoken to it in the lower house when I was there about the importance of all of the certification, market access, virtual missions, and so on.
Item 010, Other Transfers Abroad. Subhead 06, Current Transfers to Statutory Boards and Similar Bodies. Item 004, Statutory Boards. Honourable members, we will now move on to the draft estimates of the revenue and expenditure of the statutory boards and similar bodies and of the Tobago House of Assembly. 44, Trinidad and Tobago Bureau of Standards. Honourable members, we will now move on to the draft estimates of the development program. Subhead 09, Development Program Consolidated Fund. We are at page 115. Item 003, economic infrastructure. Item 005, multi-sectoral and other services. Infrastructure Development Fund, we're at page 226. Item 005, multi-sectoral and other services. Member for Point of Appeal.
Madam Chair. Minister, line item 314, renovation of Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort, $5 million. Could you?
226 is line item 314.
Thank you.
The Ministry of Trade or some other organization?
Madalena?
Yeah.
The responsibility is
refurbishment of the
ETEC's.
golf course.
The Madalena is
Yeah.
the responsibility is ETEC, and which falls under the Ministry of Trade and Industry.
So the Ministry of Trade is responsible for the hotel?
Yes.
Thank you. Can I ask another line item, Madam Chair? 312, Madam Minister.
Which one is this?
312, 312.
We're going backward then. Hold on. What's the item?
312, upgrade to Factory Road Industrial Park infrastructure, $3 million.
Okay.
Is this only for Diego Martin Factory Road, or this is the only industrial estate that this funding will be allocated for?
Okay, so this is not a Diego Martin industrial estate, This is a Factory Road in Shogunas.
In Shogunas.
That's right. So this is it's a 52-acre park, and so we're just completing the arterial roads within, and we're doing some roadside drains, etc., some LED street lighting, and that kind of thing. So in fact, that park is almost completely sold.
Okay, thank you.
Honorable members, the question is that the sum of $211,653,880 for head 48, Ministry of Trade and Industry, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The sum of $211,653,880 for head 48, Ministry of Trade and Industry, now stands part of the schedule. Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Pierce. Thank you, other members. Minister, I'm sorry to rush you, but I want to thank you for having given us such a big leapfrog. Thank you very much. Return safely. Head 40, Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries. We are at page 236 of the recurrent expenditure, and we'll be at page 92 of the DP. Head 40, Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries, $577,387,703. I will now invite the Minister of Energy and Energy Industries to make a brief opening statement, and I would really like to say as brief as possibly can.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. By now you would have realized in my last 6 years I don't waste words. We are here for the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries. We are in charge of managing the nation's resources to do with oil and gas resources, a significant contributor to GDP and foreign exchange earnings. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, the question is that the sum of $577,387,703 for head 40, Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries, stand part of the schedule. We shall now proceed to consider the draft estimates of recurrent expenditure at page 236. Subhead 01, Personal Expenditure. Item 001, General Administration. Member for Point of Appeal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister, line item 05, government's contribution to NIS. 2021, the revised estimate is 0. Could you explain, if I'm looking at this item, it gives me the impression that no NIS was paid on behalf of the staff from your Ministry of Energy.
That is not so, Madam Chair. The NIS was paid, and what this increase you're seeing here is during this fiscal, we're hoping to attract and recruit more persons and also have the Public Service Commission appoint more persons to the Ministry of Energy in substantive positions. And in light of that, what we're doing is we've gotten more NIS, looking forward to being able to pay it when we get more employees.
Well, just a follow-up, Madam Chair. Minister, if you look at the 2021, it has no any number there.
That unfortunately is a typographical error.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Subhead 02, Goods and Services. Item 001, General Administration. Member for Point of View.
No, go ahead. Sorry, Mama. Go ahead.
Subhead 03, Minor Equipment Purchases. Item 001, General Administration. Subhead 04, Minor Equipment Purchases. Subhead 04, Current Transfers and Subsidies. Item 001, Regional Bodies. Item 004, International Bodies. Member for Point of View.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister 03, Annual Subvention to Gas Exporting Countries Forum. I know you allocated 5.1 last year. Nothing was spent in 2021, and 5.7 is 2022. Could you add some clarity to that line item?
Our subscriptions were in fact paid.
Say that again?
What's that?
Could you add some clarity to that line item 03?
Add some clarity.
Yeah, nothing
we are
was
part
spent.
of the very small body of gas exporting countries forum, the GECF, and you have to pay annual subscriptions to that. And in fact, we are current with all of our annual subscriptions.
Okay, well, let me ask another question. There was nothing allocated or spent in that line item for 2021. Is it another typo?
No, well, you have to remember what may happen is sometimes as the payments are made towards the end of the year, the documents would have already gone in to the printers, and that is what happened here.
Thank you.
Item 007, Households. Item 009, Other Transfers. Item 011, Transfers to State Enterprises. Member for Point of View.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister, line item 07, interest payment on the $200 million US Petroleum receivable purchase facility. Last year, I know you weren't the Minister of Energy, but the Minister of Finance answered this question, and he said that they were facilitating the whole restructuring of Petroleum, and the government was picking up this payment until the subsidiaries became healthy and financially healthy.
Is that in the whole restructuring of the Petroleum debt, there are a number of different tranches and facilities, and this one is a rollover of some of the old debt that continues to be rolled over. And what the Ministry of Finance does, it puts it with the Ministry of Energy, and we make the payments.
And just a follow-up, Minister, do you know that $200 million US loan, do you know when that's supposed to end?
November 2023.
Thank you. Another line item 08, Minister, Lake Asphalt of Trinidad and Tobago. 2021 subventions were sent $33 million. This year is allocated $5 million. Could you state what is happening with Lake Asphalt based on just $5 million being allocated?
Yeah, what, as is public knowledge and what was said a couple of weeks ago by myself, we have mandated, and in fact today, up to today, I've been in touch with the board of Lake Asphalt. We've mandated that they cannot continue to live off of subsidies provided by the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago. So we're doing some restructuring of their business model, and we're going to introduce a new strategy to get them off of the public purse. So that's what we're hoping to get done in the next fiscal.
Okay, so it's a whole restructuring that's taking place in Lake Casper.
When I say restructuring, it's a restructuring of how they operate as a business. Huh? It has nothing to do with the jobs, etc. So right now it's to do with their supply of bitumen.
Thank you. I'll have another line item, Madam Chair. Line item 06, Minister, National Quarries Company Limited. Nothing was spent or no subvention was given to them in 2021. This year you have a subvention of $53 million. Now last year, at this SFC, your predecessor had stated that they were going to have during 2021 a restructuring of national quarries because of what was happening there. So I'm asking, based on $53 million now being given or allocated for subvention, what is happening with national quarries as far as restructuring?
What has happened in this fiscal gone is they had to present to the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries. We put them through some robust questioning. After I was satisfied, I took it to Cabinet, and Cabinet have approved this. So what you're seeing here for the next fiscal is the sum of $53.8 million. That is going to be spent getting rid of their past indebtedness to not only contractors, but also some statutory payments, etc. But they're also going to be doing some upgrading of the equipment to also get them back on track so they no longer have to rely on subsidies.
Thank you.
Member for Couva South.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister, as you just indicated under 08 to my colleague Pointe-a-Pierre, the restructuring that is being pursued at Lake Castle, is it in keeping with the recommendations of the Interministerial Committee headed by Minister Alison West?
Well, first of all, Minister Alison West didn't hire any interministerial committee. Minister Alison West and some other ministers had done some analysis of it. I've looked at that, and I took certain things from that, but we're also going down a new road as well.
This $5 million allocation, will it also be enough to cover statutory payments and so on?
Well, as I just said to your friend from Pointe-a-Pierre, what I'm looking to do and get them to be done in the next fiscal is that they will become, they will be able to operate on their own without any need for subvention as they once were able to through the sale of bitumen. Thank you.
Member for Old West.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am on line item 03, the environmental indemnity to power gen. Can the Minister advise, we've seen a reduction in 2021. Your estimate was 14 million, but zero spend in 2021, revised estimate, and a smaller estimate of 3.3 million for 2022. Can the Minister advise why no money was spent in 2021?
Madam Chair, I couldn't have asked for a better run-up to the wicket, and I'd like to thank my friend for that. I want to tell the population of Trinidad and Tobago what this is all about. The power generation company had a contract with the people of Trinidad and Tobago that came up for renewal in 2014 under the then UNC government. And I intend to make a statement in Parliament on this once we get back into normal sittings. In 2014, the UNC cabinet burdened the taxpayers and the people of Trinidad and Tobago with this, in that they inserted a clause into the contract with PowerGen that we, the taxpayers, must pay for all environmental work to be done. Not that PowerGen, who has made millions of dollars off of the people of Trinidad and Tobago during their history here, must pick up that tab. But no, the Kamala Prasad Bissessa government inserted a contract in 2014 when they could have negotiated it out. So now all of the work you see going on there at the end of Ryson Road, at the old power gen station, we the taxpayers now have to pay for all of the environmental work associated with that. So that is what this heading and this line item is about. And the fact is that we were looking for ways how to deal with it. But unfortunately, and when we went back to the cabinet decision in 2014, the cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago in 2014 took a decision in light of this, that they would burden the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago. And in fact, money was paid this year, but again, it was paid at the end of the fiscal after the budget books went to the printery.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it's going to be a lot of money that the taxpayers have to pick up for it.
So
Over $30 million
so your estimates
your
are wrong.
government burdened us, the people,
So your
with.
estimates are wrong, Minister.
Right?
These figures provided here are
No,
wrong.
the estimates are not wrong. The
This
work
is
is
a-
ongoing.
the
The
estimates
people
are
will be
completely
paid
wrong.
for the work by the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago.
You spent
Thanks to
6
your
years.
failed
You spent
negotiation.
6 years. These estimates are wrong. That's what
Right?
you're saying.
So when you're sitting in the corner of the cabinet, that's what you allow them to do.
How is that relevant? Where I sit bothers you, sir?
You could sit where you want, I couldn't care less.
Honorable members, we'll now move on to
Grow
the
up a little
draft
bit, come on.
estimates of development program. We at page 92, subhead 09, development program, consolidated fund, item 005, multi-sectoral and other services. Member for point of order.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister, line item 004, installation of electric charging stations for EVs, $11 million, a new project. Could you identify when would be, where these would be located, and when would be like the first EV or charging station?
Fortunately, we were able to launch the first public EV charging station at the Presal gas station within the last few weeks. And what we're looking to do is implement with this $11 million a number of other similar public charging stations. I'm looking to make sure we have one in Tobago, one in the south of Trinidad, one probably in the east of Trinidad, and then one in the Savannah as well. Those are the current identified areas, but not the specific locations apart from the Savannah as yet.
Just for information to the public, Minister, these EV stations, there will be a cost for the charge?
There will be a cost for the charge. So, for example, the one at the Presal gas station, I think you go inside and you pay, and then they give you a card and you flash it, and that allows you to charge your vehicle for the amount of time you've paid. So we're looking at a similar system.
And these charging stations are compatible to all electric vehicles that are presently in
It should be.
Trinidad?
So, for example, the one in the Presal gas station has 3 charging connections. 2 of them are fast chargers and one a slightly different one. So I think we're looking at that model, but of course we'll be guided by the experts.
Thank you.
Item 003, economic infrastructure. Infrastructure Development Fund, item 003, economic infrastructure, at page 215. Member for point of order.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister, line item 011, dredging in the Sealots Basin, Turning Basin. This is critical for the whole operations of that whole Sealots area as far as in and out. Nothing was done this year, even though $3 million was allocated. I don't know. I'm asking if anything was done and wasn't paid. So I don't know if this is arrears or if any work was done.
What we spent this year doing is a certain survey, a bathymetric survey that was undertaken, and now that we have the results of it, we're working with NEC to get this dredging done, and dredging done urgently. So NEC, likely when we sign off on the MOU with them, they will initially pick up the cost, and then we will do a reimbursement.
So they would be the subcontractor of the whole dredging aspect then?
The subcontractor, on the point of view from the ministry's perspective, we will retain them, and then they will go through their procurement process and get it done.
One other question. Minister 014, I know there's nothing allocated this year, but something was allocated in 2021, 014, the gas station in Grande. Is that out of the projects as far as your ministry is concerned?
Yeah, at this stage.
Okay. That's it.
Honorable members, the question is that the sum of $577,387,703 for Head Forte, Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The sum of $577,387,703 for Head Forte, Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries, now stands part of the schedule. Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Pierce. Thank you, other representatives from the ministry.
Ministry of Energy for the good work and great work they've been doing. Thank you all very much.
Okay, do reach home safely. Head 13, Office of the Prime Minister. Members will be at page 55 of the recurrent estimate, and we'll be at page 5 of the draft estimates of revenue and expenditure of statutory boards and similar bodies and of the THA, and then page 15, development program. Head 13, Office of the Prime Minister, $499,355,458. I will now invite the Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister to make a brief opening statement.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, we like to think of the Office of the Prime Minister as really the brain of the government, to use that analogy. The Prime Minister, who of course leads. We also have the de facto head of the public service at the Office of the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister has very carefully chosen that the Ministry of Gender and Child Affairs and National AIDS Coordinating Committee would be out of the Office of the Prime Minister to elevate it, as well as the Communications Division of the government would also operate out of the Office of the Prime Minister. Thank you.
Honourable members, the question is that the sum of $499,355,458 for Head 13, Office of the Prime Minister, stand part of the schedule. We now proceed to consider the draft estimates of recurrent expenditure. We're at page 55, subhead 01, Personal Expenditure, item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Gender Affairs Division. Item 003, Communications. Item 004, Government Printry. Item 005, National Archives. Subhead 02, Goods and Services. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Gender Affairs Division. Item 003, Communications. Item 004, Government Printry. Item 005, National Archives. Item 006, Freedom of Information Unit. Item 007, Office of Information Commissioner. Subhead 03, Minor Equipment Purchases. Item 001, General Administration. Item 003, Communications. Item 004, Government Printry. Item 005, National Archives. Subhead 04, Current Transfers and Subsidies. Item 001, Regional Bodies. Item 003, United Nations Organizations. Item 004, International Bodies. Item 005, Non-Profit Institutions. Member for Barataria, San Juan.
Thank you very much. Minister, can you just confirm on line item 01, whether the increase of $10 million was because of the COVID grants given to the various religious
Yes, the answer is yes. This was a continuation of part of the relief given during that period we were dealing with COVID. And as you're aware, we use the Office of the Prime Minister to give to the various religious bodies, and there was reporting that had to take place, etc. So this 10 million was somewhat of a top-up.
And Minister, when these institutions get the grants, do they report back to the Office of the Prime Minister?
Yes, they actually sign an agreement with the Office of the Prime Minister, and one of the conditions that they have to fulfill is that they have to provide reporting and an accounting in a specific schedule.
Okay. And on line item 03, I saw that there was an increase in expenditure from allocated 8 million to 11 million. Can you just account for that difference, please, Minister? The contribution to non-profit institutions.
Okay, so that
that allocation treats with our payment per child system for those children who are wards of the state and at various homes. If needs be, if the internal arrangement cannot meet, then we have to go back at mid-year.
Okay, but does this, it went from 11 million to 8 million now, right? So
Yes.
there's a $3 million decrease. Will this affect any of the homes in terms of providing these services to these children?
The payment per child system is based on how many children will be in a particular home at a particular time, so that's how we pay it out. So if internal arrangement, if we have more
Yes.
children that is allocated here, then we'll make the necessary arrangements. If
Okay.
we cannot do it internally, then we'll come back at mid-year, but it's based payment per child system.
But to answer your question, as the Minister is saying, what you're seeing reflected in that increase this year, the Minister had come to Cabinet and we had agreed to an increase to cover this.
Okay.
Member for Cuba South, Member for Cuba North.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, line item 18. Can we get a breakdown of the 2021 revised estimate in writing,
But there's
please?
nothing under 18 religious organizations, nothing 20, 21, 22.
Okay, my apologies.
All right? Okay. I know we are all tired, Minister of Finance, we are all tired. Item 007, households. Member for Cuba North.
Madam Chair is too nice.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On the line item 03, Children Authority, can the Minister advise the number of staff at this organization? Yes. And the breakdown of the staffing at the Children Authority?
I have the information here.
All right, can you kindly provide it in writing, please?
Sure, no problem.
Thank you very much, Minister.
Item 009, other transfers. Member for Tabakit.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just on line item 11, Citizens Initiative Fund. I saw that we, in the revised estimate, spent 65,000. Could you give me an indication of how many persons access the fund?
We'll have to provide that information.
No problem.
Just for clarification, that same line, line item 11, Citizens Initiative Fund. What is the criteria for someone to qualify to be a beneficiary of that fund?
That is money that is utilized based on certain requests. Citizens are always making requests to the Office of the Prime Minister. Making requests to the Office of the Prime Minister and is guided by a policy that's been approved by Cabinet.
Okay.
.011, transfers to state enterprises. Subhead 06, current transfers to statutory boards and similar bodies. Honorable members, we'll now move on to the draft estimates of revenue and expenditure of the statutory boards and similar bodies and of the Tobago House of Assembly. 53, National Library and Information System. Honorable members, we'll now move on to the draft estimates of development program. We're at page 15, subhead 09, Development Program, Consolidated Fund, item 004, Social Infrastructure. Item 005, Multi-Sectoral and Other Services. Member for Tabakit.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Line item 005, Strategic Redevelopment of TTT. We estimated 3 million in 2021. None was spent, so an explanation for that. And then the 2 million estimated in 2022, if we can get a breakdown on how this money will be spent and what the strategic redevelopment of TTT entails.
You want that in writing, or you want it now?
Well, I would assume it's a longer answer, so in writing will suffice.
Fair enough.
Infrastructure Development Fund. We're at page 187, item 004, Social Infrastructure. Item 005, Multi-Sectoral and Other Services. Honorable members, the question is that the sum of $499,355,458 for Head 13, Office of the Prime Minister, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The sum of $499,355,458 for head 13, Office of the Prime Minister, now stands part of the schedule. Thank you, Ministers. Thank you, PS. Thank you, the other technocrats from the Office of the Prime Minister. Head 20, Pensions. Honorable members, we'll be starting at page 120, the draft estimates of recurrent expenditure. Head 20, Pensions and Gratuities, $20 million. I will now invite the Minister of Finance to make the briefest of opening statements.
Madam Chairman, without restricting my freedom of speech, this head deals with public officers' pensions and gratuities, widows and orphans, teachers, gratuities and pensions, naval and military pensions, and sundry other pension matters such as judges, prime minister's pensions, retiring allowances for us inside of here, heads of missions pensions, fire service, police, defense force, and virtually all public service pensions, both in the mainstream public service and also in the state sector.
Honorable members, the question is that the sum of $20 million for Head 20, Pensions and Gratuities, stand part of the schedule. We shall proceed to consider the draft estimates of recurrent expenditure with page 120, subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies, item 007, households. Honorable members, the question is that the sum of $20 million for Head 20, Pensions and Gratuities, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The sum of $20 million for Head 20, Pensions and Gratuities, now stands part of the schedule. Thank you, Minister. Thank you very much, Representative. Head 02, Auditor General. Members, we'll be at page 5 of the draft estimates of recurrent expenditure. Head 02, Auditor General, $31,529,170. I will now invite the Minister of Finance to make, again, the briefest of opening statements without affecting his right to speak.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Again, without affecting my right to freedom of speech. The Office of the Auditor General is an independent office in accordance with Section 117 of the Constitution of the Republic. The Auditor General is appointed by the President of the Republic after consultation with the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition, and holds office in accordance with Section 136 of the Constitution. In serving the people of the Republic, the Auditor General must audit and report on the public accounts of Trinidad and Tobago and of all officers, courts, and authorities of Trinidad and Tobago, and is also empowered to carry out audits on financial statements of all state-owned or controlled enterprises. Reports of the Auditor General must be submitted annually to the Speaker, President of the Senate, and the Minister of Finance. The staff of the Office of the Auditor General are public officers.
Honorable members, the question is that the sum of $31,529,170 for Head 02, Auditor General, stand part of the schedule. We shall now proceed to consider the draft estimates of recurrent expenditure. Subhead 01, Personal Expenditure, Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Tobago Services. Subhead 02, Goods and Services, Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Tobago Services. Subhead 03, Minor Equipment Purchases, Item 001, General Administration. Subhead 04, Current Transfers and Subsidies, Item 001, Regional Bodies. Item 002, Commonwealth Bodies. Item 004, International Bodies. Item 007, Households. Honorable members, the question is that the sum of $31,529,170 for Head 02, Auditor General, stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The sum of $31,529,170 for Head 02, Auditor General, now stands part of the schedule. Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Auditor General. Thank you, other representatives from the Office of Auditor General. Head 08, Elections and Boundaries Commission. And members, you'll be starting at page 39 of the estimates for a current expenditure and page 11 on the draft estimates of the development program. Head 08, Elections and Boundaries Commission, $75,877,680. I will now invite the Minister of Finance to make a brief opening statement consistent with his previous practice. Minister of Finance.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I realize members opposite don't have the energy to continue. I think we all know that the Election and Boundaries Commission, be quiet please. We all know the Election and Boundaries Commission is an independent body appointed by the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and has the authority for the conduct of elections, both for parliamentary elections, local government elections, and for Tobago House of Assembly elections. That's it.
Honorable members, the question is that the sum of $75,877,680 for Head 08, Elections and Boundaries Commission, stand part of the schedule. We now proceed to consider the draft estimates of recurrent expenditure. Subhead 01, Personal Expenditure, Item 001, General Administration. Member for Point of Peer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Sorry. Minister, line item 16, contract employment. 2022, the estimate is 1.5 million, an increase of 648,000. Could the Minister indicate?
Where are you?
Page 40.
Okay. I'm still on General Administration.
Oh,
if
sorry.
there's nothing on General Administration,
Sorry.
Item 002, Election Expenses, Member for San Juan Barataria.
Thank you very much. Minister, can you just confirm the 2022 estimate will be for the upcoming THA elections and whether or not it will also include any by-election for the Davis South seat where there's a vacancy because of the death of the councillor?
We are going to ensure that the EBC is properly funded. We will allow the Election and Boundaries Commission to do environments and transfers if additional funds are required under any sub-item, and we will supplement at the middle.
Subhead 02, Goods and Services, item 001, General Administration. This is where you appoint a bill. Yes, please.
Thank you. Minister, line item 16, contract employment. 2022, 1.5 is the budgeted estimated, an increase of $648,000. In 2020, we had an election year with $17,000 spent. Could the minister indicate what is the cause for that contract employment of 1.5? What the amount of employees or on short-term contracts?
Sure. The Commission has advertised for new positions, well, to fill positions, and therefore anticipates it will require additional funding in the fiscal year.
Okay, thank you.
Item. Sorry, member.
Do you want a list of them? Member, you want a list? No?
Member for Shogunas, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Honorable Minister, line item 17. There is an estimate of 100,000 here. 2022. Is it that we contemplate this sum will be spent on training the additional persons, or mainly the additional persons who are proposed to be taken on under the contract of employment?
No. That previous item is for 16 positions already advertised, various positions. This one is just for OSHA and supervisory training. That's what my notes tell me. Yeah. Occupational safety and health and supervisory training.
Thank you, Minister.
Item 002, election expenses. Member for Barataria Sanwan.
Thank you very much, Madam. On line item 12, materials and supplies. Minister, for 2021, I see that there's an actual expenditure, well, a revised estimate, sorry, of $249,000. And we would have conducted the THA elections in addition to 5 by-elections in January. And the allocation for 2022 is $2.3 million. Can you account for the large allocation for 2022 for materials and supplies in 2022 when we are not expecting any general election or local government election?
Madam Chairman, I realize the member is new, but the EBC is a proactive organization and will plan well ahead to purchase supplies for the local government elections which are due in December 2022. So in fiscal 2022, which ends in September 2022, the EBC would have made a number of advanced purchases for materials and supplies to make sure they are ready for the 2022 local election.
The expenditure of just $249,000 in 2021, and there were 5 by-elections, and the THA elections, it only cost $249,000.
If you look at the 2020 actual, you see that the expenditure was $4.2 million.
But in 2020, we had a general election.
Yes, I know.
Which would have cost the taxpayers a lot of money also.
Yes, I know.
And that could have been materials and supplies for that election.
Not necessarily.
So it's okay.
It should be obvious to you that when the EBC buys its materials and supplies, it buys them in bulk. It does not use up every single ballot paper, every single card. It's a proactive organization. So they purchased for the 2019 local, the 2020 general, and they had additional supplies which they utilize later on.
I would hope as proactive as they should be as independent too.
They are very. That's why we in government and you in opposition.
Exactly. That is why we have problems with the independence.
Member for Shogunas West. Member for Shogunas West.
Minister, line item 17. Whilst we are aware that in 2020, the sum that would have been spent, we were dealing with a general election. Still, in 2022, is it a decrease in the amount that we have allocated here prudent at this time, knowing that we are going into locals?
You just be clear on which line item you're referring to?
Yes.
Item 17.
Line item 17.
Concerned that the amount for training is inadequate?
No, I didn't say inadequate. What I said, Minister, is that granted that 2020 we were dealing with general elections, so we are beyond that. We see that the figure would have been required, and it was in fact more substantial. 2022, knowing that we are going into local elections, would this figure suffice in terms of training?
This is specifically designed to deal with the training for the polling day staff for the THA election. Okay? And they would have had a lot of people trained already. So some people would require refreshers, some people would be new, requiring more substantive training. So yes, I'm advised this is adequate.
Subhead.
Madam Chair, this may very well be my last question on
election expenses.
Sorry?
You still on election expenses or?
Yes, training.
Yes.
Minister, I know you mentioned proactive and independent. We should probably look at spending more on training for that as well.
I'm certain that if the Commission requires more money for training, they would make an appropriate request and we would approve a virement or a transfer as the case may be. We'll make sure they have sufficient money for whatever they are required to do.
Member for San Juan Barataria.
Item 22. Minister, can you just confirm whether the short-term employment is for the election day staff?
Yes.
Yes? In the THA elections, how many was the anticipated number of persons expected to hire?
Just over 700.
Just over?
700.
Thank you.
Subhead 03, minor equipment purchases. Item 001, general administration. Subhead 04, current transfers and subsidies. Item 007, households. Honorable members, we will now move on to the draft estimates of development program. Subhead 09, development program, consolidated fund, page 11, item 005, multi-sectoral and other services. Member for Point of View.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Minister 005, upgrading of the electronic voter registration and management system election. 2020, 4 million was spent. 2021, another 4 million. 2022, another 4 million is anticipated. Could you give us an appreciation of this constant upgrade? What is really taking place and when that will end?
Okay. It's a 3-year program. That's why you're seeing it. Sorry, 5-year. It's a multi-year program, so that's why you're seeing it recurring. It is for their electronic voter registration system. It's upgrade. It's license fees for software, but it's an annual expense. They have to maintain the license for the software, of course. They have to get continuous upgrades of the software. So this is an amount which will be running for a couple of years.
Member for Barataria, San Juan.
Minister, is this line item, will it include also the issuance of the new national ID card?
That's part of the system.
Okay.
Honorable members, the question is that the sum of $75,877,680 For head 08, Elections and Boundaries Commission stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The sum of $75,877,680 for head 08, Elections and Boundaries Commission now stands part of the schedule. Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Chief Elections Officer. Thank you, everyone. Head 05, Parliament. Members, we'll be at page 22 of the recurrent expenditure estimates and at page 7 of the DP. Head 05 Parliament, $140,725,900. I will now invite the Minister of Finance to continue in his established mode of making a brief opening statement.
I will comply. We are the Parliament.
Honourable members, the question is that the sum of $140,725,900 for head 05 Parliament stand part of the schedule. Honourable members, we shall now proceed to examine the draft estimates of recurrent expenditure. We are at page 22. Subhead 01, Personal Expenditure. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Office of the Ombudsman. Subhead 02, Goods and Services. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Office of the Ombudsman. Subhead 03, Minor Equipment Purchases. Item 001, General Administration. Item 002, Office of the Ombudsman. Subhead 04, Current Transfers and Subsidies. Item 002, Commonwealth Bodies. Item 004, International Bodies. Item 007, Households. Honourable members, we will now proceed to the draft estimates of development program. Subhead 09, Development Program, Consolidated Fund, page 7, item 005, Multi-sectoral and Other Services. Honourable members, the question is that the sum of $140,725,900 for head 05 Parliament stand part of the schedule. Those in favour say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The sum of $140,725,900 for head 05 Parliament now stands part of the schedule. So I want to thank you all members for ensuring that our various staff of the various entities got home or had sufficient time to get home. I want to wish you all a safe journey home, a pleasant night. This Standing Finance Committee is suspended to Friday, October 15, 2021 at 10 a.m. Special thanks to the Minister of Finance.